Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Tracy, and today I'm going to see the tractor running and the PTO spinning. This is the last episode on this PTO drive. I didn't get a footage of it cleaning the bolts. This piece right here is where the hat or the cylinder, the 3-point hitch cylinder is that raises this up and down. There's a giant like 4-inch cylinder in there. I didn't work on that. It was working okay. So in order though, the bolts that were down in there holding that hat on there, it's pretty dirty down in there. And I seen another episode of somebody showing that, and I didn't even think about it, but yes, it needs to get cleaned out. I did. I used a wire brush like you would clean the inside of tubing, copper tubing or anything stainless, and use an outside brush, whether it's a power brush, and clean the threads off, and also cleaned down inside the thread pattern down inside with a tap. Now, if you don't want to spend the money on a tap, you can get a bolt and you can take a thin wheel blade grinding wheel. It has to be a thin wheel, like 0.045. And you would grind a slotted spot diagonally, not straight. You can do it straight, but if you went diagonally, it's cutting it gradually, not all at once. And you can clean that out. But it's better to use these because there's an open surface here for the dirt and the debris to go. And the bolt, if you don't want to get a tap, you can take your thin wheel blade and cut once across here, and it'll open it up. And it's just for cleaning, and use some PB Blast or something to dissolve that rust. But after I got it all cleaned out, then use the air nozzle and wear glasses, wear a face shield and gloves, because when you spray that out, it's going to come out really badly. And use your mirror or a light to get down in there if you can't see. Make sure it's all nice and clean. Just cleaning that all up before you put it all back together. And then the next step, I'm going to clean that hat underneath, all the gunk out of it. I use brake cleaner, and then I might use a little bit of diesel fuel and rinsed it out with the brake cleaner. Got it all nice and clean. And then the gasket, you'll see me using a certain way. I like getting the sealant all the way around the gasket, rubbing it in, of course using rubber gloves before I put it on. And we'll get to it and watch the rest of the video. Give me the thumbs up if you like this video, and subscribe for future videos. Thank you. Previous to putting the sealant, the gasket sealant on the gasket, I had lightly sanded that surface, that flat surface that the gasket's going to go on, with sandpaper, very lightly, and using the brake cleaner to clean it with the towel, all the sand that could be there or any contaminants that are in the way of the gasket while I'm putting it in place right now. What I'm reaching up there and hooking onto that shaft is a snap ring that does not let the clutch pack hub slide rearward onto the shaft. It holds it in place so that it goes off of the pump hub drive. If I ever need to take those bolts out after putting thread locker on them right now, I'll use a torch. A cutting tip torch is more pinpointed, and I won't use the air handle for cutting. I'll just use the tip of that torch when it's set just right, because it's a pinpoint heat, and I'll heat up the head of that nut, or excuse me, the head of the bolt. And that heat will transfer through that bolt and loosen up that thread locker. In the right hand corner of that rear axle opening, and the lid's going to come down on it, there is a leveling device that goes up and down, and it indicates that cylinder when them 3-point hitch arms are where they are. And right now I'm lining it up, making sure it's going to fall in place, because there's a bar that just sits right down into it like a horseshoe, and it follows it up and down. Everything lined up. There's 2 dowel pins that are in that hat. The gasket went on first, and I put the sealant on there just like I did to the PTO shaft that you see me put into the rear of the axle. Got it all rubbed into the gasket, but everything's sitting down on there. I won't be able to put 4 bolts in, because those bolts also hold the bracket to the fuel tank, but I'll tighten everything else up and then get that fuel tank bracket on there also as well, and the fuel tank. Okay, I've primed the fuel tank on, got new valve for the fuel tank, and new hoses. So I got the system primed enough where I got some smoke coming out of that stack. So we're going to start it and see if my PTO is going to work and shut off. I haven't started this thing for a year. See what happens. Not sure if anyone notices or not, but look at them 3-point hitch arms. They are up. Just the motor turning is also turning the hydraulic pump, and it's pressurizing the system right now, and it's lifted them arms up already. I'm going to have to put a charger on it. It's still priming the... Here it's running. It finally primed all the injectors. Took off and running. What I've got it is, it's not spinning right now. The PTO lever is in the off position, so that means the brake is good and it's holding that PTO shaft from spinning. We're going to cycle for a little bit, get the air bubbles out. Warm up a little bit, because it's still got some air in it. I can hear it sound better just